I just watched this guy stand with his hands on his hips, watching a woman struggle to lift and carry a kayak.
Where can you find a Prince Charming? Like, where do you find all the good men at?
Women bring nothing to the table nowadays and still expect to be treated like a queen and like a princess. Women bring nothing.
That is a fact. Modern women today only bring themselves but expect everything.
In dating, I think it's very appropriate and necessary for women to have a roster.
No, I'm upset because you asked me on a date and you're asking me to split the bill with you.
Sometimes when a man is not chasing you or pursuing you, it has nothing to do with how amazing you are.
What about chivalry?
What they wished for is exactly what's biting them in the ass. The equality. Kindly subscribe to the channel as it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
Can someone tell me what is going on with men? What is happening?
Probably won't believe this. I mean, I'm still shocked, but there's still men out there who don't open doors for girls when getting into a restaurant, like on a date or something.
My hot take is that men shouldn't be allowed to sit.
The days of men having basic manners are totally out the window. Nowadays, if a man opens a door for you, people automatically assume you're dating.
I want to know, have men decided that they're not going to hold the door open for women anymore?
I don't think men have collectively decided anything. I think it still comes down to the individual person and how they've previously been treated when they've held the doors open for women.
Because I can't tell you how many times I have gone into a store, the man was going in front of me, he saw me coming behind him, and he opens up the door, but didn't open it up for me and the door hit me.
Oh, well, that's just awkward.
Or he was coming out of the door and didn't hold it open for me to go through it, and the door hit me.
I'm noticing a pattern here.
And this has happened multiple times, so I just want to know, have men decided that they are just not going to hold the door open for women anymore?
Well, based on the number of times that someone was hit by that door, it rather sounds like someone was just expecting that door to be held open for them by virtue of the fact that they happen to be a woman, and for no other reason. But I have to remind someone that women are considered to be equals to men, and numerous women over the years have actually very publicly scolded men for holding open doors for them because they're perfectly capable of doing so. But it is common courtesy to hold the door open for someone, whether it be a man or a woman, so there's that. But a person shouldn't expect special treatment and at the same time expect equality.
The reality is, men haven't decided anything. The reason why so many men aren't even worried about being chivalrous to women is because of women themselves. Countless times when men try to open a door for a woman, all you hear is, "I can do it myself. I'm a strong, independent woman. I'm not weak." So because these events occur numerous times, men subconsciously adjust their behavior. Why keep doing something that's only going to get mocked or thrown back in your face? After a while, men realize it's not worth the effort. And then, ironically, those same women will turn around and complain that men aren't gentlemen anymore. But the truth is, women trained men out of chivalry by rejecting it, and now they're upset at the consequences. So once again, it wasn't men. I think if modern women were to adjust their behavior, they'd start seeing a different response from men.
So I'm fully convinced that chivalry is in fact dead. You can't convince me otherwise. Where are the guys that are opening up your doors? Where are the guys texting you first? Where are the guys putting in the effort? Where are the guys that are asking you out on dates before they're asking to come over and hang out? Where's the effort? Honestly, what happened to dating? Like, I don't get it.
Look at how crazy I look. So, on my way back home from that open house, my tire blew. And I can change a tire. That's not the part that bothers me. I've done it a million times. I've done it a million times. It's the fact that I'm in traffic right now. I'm on the highway. There's traffic probably going, 20 miles an hour? And you're telling me no man is like, oh, look at her. Look at this girl changing her tire. Let me help her. No. Nobody stopped to help me. I had to change that tire in, what is it? I know it's not 113 degrees. That's probably just from my car sitting there. But no man is like, let me stop to help.
Ladies, let me remind you of something. You do not need a man. I hope at this point, and I think at this point, we're aware of that. Like, that's pretty obvious at this state in the game. You can want a partner. You can want a man. You can want that vision for your life. But what you cannot do is shrink yourself, lower your standards, and choose a man or try to be chosen by a man and force things to work just so you have a man or just so you have that partner or just so that you feel wanted or needed or validated. If you are not choosing a partner based on your boundaries, your needs, what you need in a partner, what you need for your future, your vision for your life, you are consciously choosing that partner and building a life with them, you're better off alone.
I disagree. Many of these women say, I don't need a man, but at the same time, they want a man. The problem is, all the things they're asking from a man are actually needs, not wants. Take care of them, protect them, provide for them. Those are needs, not luxuries. And they need those things either because they don't want to do them themselves or they simply can't. What makes it worse is the contradiction. They'll scream independence and say they don't rely on anyone, but in the next breath, they expect men to carry the load, financially, emotionally, and physically. That's not independence. That's selective dependence. They only want a man when it benefits them, but dismiss his value when it doesn't. The truth is, if you strip away those so-called wants, the entire list of what they're really looking for is a safety net, and a safety net is a need. But saying, I need a man, doesn't fit the image of being strong and empowered, so instead, they reframe it as a want, when in reality, their survival and comfort often hinge on it.
You know what? Since y'all say that chivalry is dead, you can handle that.
Really? Really?
Who killed chivalry? You did. Women, you did. Men got tired of coming over and saying, hey, can I help you? I don't need your help. You think I'm small and I can't do it myself? I can carry my own suitcase. Ugh. They got tired of that. They got tired and they stopped doing the gentlemanly stuff. They don't want to be told they're harassing you by coming over and asking if you need help.
Probably won't believe this. I mean, I'm still shocked, but there's still men out there who don't open doors for girls when getting into a restaurant, like on a date or something. And there's also men who don't open your car doors. So you get next to an Uber, you open the door, you want to get in, and then he makes you like scoot over so he can literally do zero effort. I mean, am I too old school or you guys just have zero manners?
I'm at the train station in Italy right now and I was just having this thought. What happened to the days when men would get up from a bench and let a lady sit down, especially an older lady? There are 3 benches in this train station and they are occupied by all men.
I like how she's recording these men to try and shame them online for views, when she's the one being creepy by recording them. Women like this, who believe that men owe them a seat just because they're a woman, are the real problem. She asks what happened to the days when men would get up to offer a woman their seat. Well, ask the feminists. Equality is what they wanted between the sexes. So when I see women complain about stuff like this, it just exposes the hypocrisy. You can't scream independence and equality on one hand, then demand special treatment the moment it benefits you. That's not equality, that's entitlement. The real question is, where are all the women who used to stay at home, make sure the house was tidy, and have dinner ready for their man when he got home? But what this woman is not doing is going up to them and asking if she can sit instead of recording them. Maybe they would have said yes.
What are your thoughts on the following statement? Dating for women is like shopping, while dating for men is like a job interview that he's paying for.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
We feel like they're runner-ups and contestants.
If women have an abundance of choices, would women ever enter an arrangement where they weren't knowingly in control?
No.
So if women are the choosers, how are men the leaders?
Good question.
How can men lead if it's by women's terms?
I have no clue.
Are men leading when they subject themselves to rejection at a woman's discretion?
No.
So then why do we say that men are leaders when women are in control?
We want you guys to lead while we're still in control.
Thank you for being honest.
What y'all men need to realize is that I don't have to bring nothing to the table but myself. You have to bring everything to the fucking table. I don't have to bring nothing but myself.
I have a serious fucking question, and I need the answer to it right fucking now. Where the fuck are all the nerdy boys? I'm so fucking tired of the athletes. I'm so fucking tired of these boys. Where are the fucking nerds? Ah! It's like, I just want to change this. I just want to change a nerdy guy's life, bro. I just want to change his life forever. That's so fucking hard. Why can't I not find a nerdy man? I want a nerdy man. I want a nerdy man that knows random fucking shit in the least mansplaining way. I want to change this nerd's life and make him obsessed with me. Is that so hard to fucking ask? Is that so fucking hard to ask? Where the fuck are the nerds?
You know what? At this point, I think even the nerdy man is good. This woman seems kind of unhinged. The thing is, when women suddenly start asking for a nerdy man, it's usually not because they truly value him for who he is. It's because they couldn't lock down any of the players they were chasing. Let's be real, the nerdy guy wasn't even on their radar when they were younger and surrounded by options. He was invisible. But now that the so-called high-value men they wanted won't commit, suddenly the nerdy man looks like a safe backup plan. He becomes the last resort, not the first choice. And the sad part is, many of these women approach the nerdy guy not out of genuine love or respect, but out of convenience. They think he'll tolerate their baggage, accept their past, and still give them the stability they couldn't get from the men they truly desired. In other words, he's the consolation prize they settle for when reality finally catches up to them.
Who pays for the date? Two people. They both do very well for themselves. She's a lawyer. He owns a business. Who pays for the date? Who pays for the date? She says he should pay for the date because he's the man. I want to be a woman. I don't want to be this like masculine. In my masculine, I'm a lawyer. I do that all day. When I go out on a date, I want to sit back. I want the man to take the lead. I want him to pick the place. I want him to pay for it. I want to be treated special like a woman, like a lady. Then we date back and forth. I'll pitch in. I'll buy a round of drinks. I'll treat to dessert, snacks, something like that. I will contribute, but I want him to take the lead. Many other people say, women especially, that they like to pay because they don't want the man to presume that sex is going to be had after the date. So they use money as this like barrier to sex. It's common. I don't agree with that. I think you should just hang back, let a man show you what he's about. Be a man.
For the girl that said, I don't need a man to buy me flowers, but I wouldn't date one that doesn't, or I don't need a man to provide for me. I'm independent and can provide for myself, but I wouldn't date a man that couldn't. I don't need a man to open my doors, but again, I wouldn't date a man that doesn't. Like, you're really changing the perspective. There are independent women that still want a chivalrous gentleman. And I think some of the independent women have burnt some bridges where guys don't want to do these things for women. But in my mind, like, yeah, did I buy my own house? Can I pay all my own bills? Yes, that's called being an adult. That's called being an adult. You don't hear a man saying, I'm an independent man, I can pay for all my own bills. But you hear women saying it all the time. It's very weird. But at the end of the day, we all have different wants and needs. And this lady nailed it on the head. She doesn't need any of these things from a guy, but that's what she's expecting because that's the kind of guy that she wants to be with, a guy that wants to do those things. It's just a different way of looking at things.
A woman saying, I don't need a man to open a door for me, but I wouldn't date him if he didn't, is just pure contradiction. It shows you don't really believe what you're saying. If you truly didn't need it, you wouldn't be using it as a condition for whether a man is worthy of dating. What that really means is, you do want men to do these things. You just don't want to admit that you rely on men for them. It's not about the door, it's about wanting the benefits of traditional masculinity without having to bring traditional femininity in return. That's the double standard. They want to be independent on paper, but dependent when it's convenient. She mentioned that independent women want a chivalrous gentleman, but how exactly does that work? Independent means you don't need a man for anything. You can handle it all on your own. And any woman who even identify with the word independent are proven to be a headache.
I find that anytime I start liking someone or I get into any kind of relationship with a guy, I'm often gaslighted into thinking that I'm too high maintenance or I ask for too much. And it's never the case. Like, I feel like I'm not that high maintenance. All I ask for is to be bombarded with texts and calls every hour. I mean, that's not too much, right? I just need constant reassurance. I learned that about myself. Like, I need to be reassured. I need to be made a priority. Otherwise, I'm going to think that you don't actually like me and I'm probably going to leave. And then you'll never see me again. That's why I stay single. That's why I'm probably going to stay single for a very long time, because I don't think anyone will ever meet my expectations. But to be completely honest, I don't even think that this is anything but the bare minimum. And also, I don't expect anything that I can't give back. I just don't think people that are meant for me exist anymore.
I need to know, is there like any guys left that like believe in like opening the car door for a girl?
Oh, absolutely there are, but that number is getting smaller and smaller by the day. And ladies, you have yourselves to thank for it. Because you see, for men, there's 3 possible outcomes for doing something like holding a door open for a woman. To be sure, there's a small group of women that will actually appreciate it. But it's far more likely these days that it's going to be either option 2 or 3 that's going to happen. Option 2 being, at best, she's going to call him sexist or a misogynist for daring to open the door. Or she might file a false allegation against him because she assumes his doing so is a form of harassment. And then there's option 3, where she may not say something like that, but she'll see it as a sign of weakness and either dump him or try and take advantage of him for being so chivalrous. Which is why men now are opting for choice number 4, which is to do nothing. It's actually the safest and best option. And I guess there is a choice 5 now, which is men who have entered their soft guy era and are expecting women to hold the door for them.
Being there for her, supporting her, being loyal. Is there any guys that can be loyal anymore?
Again, there's plenty of them, but here's the problem. Those loyal guys have gotten burned time and time again. These men have figured out that she doesn't view him as Mr. Right, she views him as Mr. Right Now. These men have shown loyalty while getting none in return. They've been ghosted, tossed aside for somebody else, and treated like crap. So again, they've looked at the options and decided the best one is to walk away.
Are any guys that just want the girl they are with and not multiple other girls?
The answer is yes. In fact, that's the majority of men, which is the opposite of the majority of today's modern women, who stuck them in the friend zone while they were off trying to rack up as high a body count as they possibly can, only to realize that when they get tired of it, that loyal guy that they thought would be waiting for them has ridden off into the sunset.
I need to know, is there any of y'all left? Because I cannot find them anywhere.
And the reason you can't find them is because you stuck them in your friend zone. You decided they weren't good enough, at least not right now. You figured you'd park them off to the side, go out and look for that perfect Chad, and hey, if you can't find him, that loyal guy will be waiting. Well, I hate to break it to you, but he's not going to be waiting. While y'all think men are clueless to what's going on, we figured it out, and we're not going to play that silly little game anymore, because men are tired of that. They're tired of being friend-zoned, they're tired of being your backup plan, and they're tired of being used and tossed aside. Men didn't create this paradigm, women did. And men have decided they're not going to play this silly little game anymore. They've taken their ball and walked away.
Imagine not wanting to be used, and women are actually complaining about it, because that's exactly what's happening these days when women complain about men not courting them or being chivalrous. What they're really saying is, why aren't men giving us free attention, free effort, and free resources anymore? They miss the days when men bent over backward, bought flowers, paid for every date, and went out of their way to impress them, all while asking for nothing in return. But here's the reality. Men got tired of being used. They realized that chivalry had turned into a one-way street. Courting wasn't about love anymore. It was about what women could extract from it. And when men stopped playing that game, women started to feel the absence. Not because they truly wanted partnership, but because they lost an easy advantage. The truth is, men aren't less romantic. They're just less willing to invest in people who don't value them. Modern women call it the death of chivalry. But what it really is the death of men being exploited under the disguise of romance.
Women bring nothing to the table nowadays and still expect to be treated like a queen and like a princess and like she deserves the world and the man is just supposed to be there and provide everything for her. Wake up. If you really believe that you deserve all of this, you need to provide more than just your body and your looks and the fakeness that you have going on around there. You need to actually start providing value for that man, especially if you want to get a good man. You are never going to find a good man to take care of you if you provide nothing but your arrogance, your ego, and your looks, because that is not enough anymore for men nowadays.
What do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? If I'm supposed to be bringing the same thing you're bringing to the table, what the hell do you need me for? Matter of fact, what the hell do you need any woman for? Go date a man. If you want me to work just as hard as you do to bring cash to the table, it sounds like you want a man. Conversations like this are always so annoying because you're comparing something that's quantifiable versus something that's not. I'm not gonna go and pretend that men and women bring the same thing to the table. Let's be real here. But men bringing finances to the table is quantifiable. I can literally say he brings X amount to the table. What women offer is not the same thing, but that's kind of the point. If you wanted someone bringing finances that are quantifiable to the table, you would date a man, but you don't want to date a man because you want women for their feminine qualities. And as it goes, that shit's not really quantifiable. It's something you feel. It's something that makes you feel good when you have a woman in your life. The presence and the magic of a woman's love and touch is like, you crave it. Can't really put a number on it though. It's just this intangible thing. And you might say, well, what sets you apart from another woman bringing that same thing? Again, it's that intangible thing. The same reason why you can fall in love with one girl, but you won't fall in love with another girl who has the same qualities. There's a certain pull, a certain spark. There's that certain chemistry that something aligns correctly. You can meet 10 girls, 9 of them don't have it, but 1 does. Can't put a number on it. You can't really put a reason to it. And it makes answering questions like, what do you bring to the table as a woman, kind of complicated to answer. But I know a real man wouldn't need some girl on the internet explaining what that is. You just know. When you're a man and you feel the presence of a woman, you just know what she brings to the table.
It's actually not complicated for a woman to answer what she brings to the table. It only becomes complicated and difficult for those who bring nothing but expect everything. And whenever you hear a woman say, a real man wouldn't ask this or do that, ignore it. That's called a self-serving narrative, where the woman rewrites reality to protect her entitlement and avoid accountability. She's not concerned with fairness or partnership. She's concerned with preserving her image while still expecting men to give and sacrifice. And what presence and magic does a man actually crave from a woman anyway? A man just wants a good, feminine woman, not one who believes her mere presence automatically improves his life. Men don't need a show or a performance. They don't need a woman to act like she's indispensable. When men ask what women bring to the table, majority of the time they aren't talking about money. And did she just learn the word quantifiable?
If you don't know who I am, I just love bitching as a single 30-year-old woman about how hard dating is, because it is hard, okay? But I'm seeing all these TikTok comments saying, you know, men are leaving women alone because women want to be left alone, blah, blah, blah. I think that most men just don't get the fucking point of like, oh, let's have common sense and see when a woman wants to be approached or not. It's not that we don't want to be. Oh my God. I can't even get through this because I actually don't want to be approached. Seriously, get away from me. You guys don't have common sense of like reading the room. If I'm squatting on a squat rack at the gym, get the out of my face. Seriously, leave me alone if I'm pumping gas and you're trying to hit on me at the gas station. That's called a cat call. It's not trying to, it's like, get the fuck out. If I'm at a coffee shop and there's people around me, shoot your fucking shot. Shoot your fucking shot. I might tell you I have a boyfriend, but that's a quick, easy way. And that's the worst that can happen, right? Then you move along. That's the problem, men. Move the fuck along. If that response is given, move the fuck along. Good men, you can blame the weirdo men for women trying to just protect themselves. Seriously, I'm not trying to be killed. I'm not trying to be attacked or assaulted. I think that men should understand when a woman might feel a little bit vulnerable. I just don't think it's that hard. So the men that are like, well, women don't want to be approached anymore, maybe you're doing it in the wrong fucking way. And we need to open our eyes and have a little common sense and be like, if I was a woman, we're just walking around this earth scared as fuck all the time. If I was a woman, would I want to be approached right now in this moment while she's doing the fucking hip abductor? No. Okay. Leave me the fuck alone. It's written all over our faces. I don't understand why like y'all don't see that. And if I tell you that I'm not interested from the beginning, from the get-go, I'm good, thanks, or blah, 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 fucking move along. Take a fucking hint. But now no man is shooting their shot because they're all fucking scared and they're not doing it the right way and they don't know how to do it. Well, I'm telling you right now, public places, if the woman looks like she's open to having a conversation or whatever, do it. If she's busy, maybe leave her the fuck alone. If she's secluded, leave her the fuck alone. I don't even know if I want to post this because I don't even know if I want to be approached by a man. Seriously, like it's scary. It's a scary fucking thought. I'm trying to help. I'm not even helping myself. I don't know. Fuck it. Figure it out. I don't know. Or don't. Don't care.
How does that make any sense? How can a man know when a woman wants to be approached or not? What if he approaches at a time he thinks is right and she still says, I don't want to be approached. Then she turns around and says, maybe men are approaching in the wrong way. But when you actually ask women how they want to be approached, they don't even have a clear answer. The reality is that each woman is different, but similar at the same time, which is why men are just done trying. They don't approach anymore. And with this kind of attitude, women like this will continue spending their 30s being single. Any woman who says, have common sense to know when to approach women, really just wants you to be a mind reader. They want men to figure out what they want without giving any guidance or clarity, and then complain when the man doesn't get it. That's not communication. That's setting men up to fail, and it's why many women end up frustrated and still single, despite having every advantage.
There are two things that men don't do while dating in this generation. And number one is giving a girl a compliment. For some reason, like maybe they think we hear it all the time or, oh, you probably get that all the time. No, not from you. And I want it from you. What happened to telling me I'm pretty? What happened to the good morning beautiful? Why is it always just good morning or good morning bum or good morning butt, whatever that may be? I want to be complimented. Even if I do hear it from absolutely everybody else, I want to hear it from you. Why do none of the guys that date any of me or my friends ever compliment us? And number two is never tell us how they feel about us. Honestly, they don't even show us how they feel about us. They would do absolutely anything and everything so they don't have to tell us how they feel. Like, we're not mind readers here. I need to know. I need to hear it. We need to talk about our emotions, okay? Why can you guys not speak it? It's like it's a foreign language to you. But that's just my opinion. Let's maybe switch it up a little bit.
It seems like all the things women rejected, they want back. Compliments used to be seen as too flirty or unnecessary. Now they want them back. Good morning texts were seen as clingy or overbearing. Now they complain if they don't get them. Men don't tell women how they feel anymore because women don't care. In fact, the world doesn't care. Emotions and vulnerability are no longer rewarded. They're ignored or even mocked. Men have learned that opening up doesn't bring connection. It brings judgment. So instead of sharing, they shut down, stay quiet, and protect themselves. And then the same women complain that men aren't romantic, affectionate, or emotionally available. But the truth is, men have been trained by repeated rejection and indifference to hold their feelings inside. If you want a man to express himself, it takes a woman who shows that she values it, not one who dismisses it as weakness or ignores it entirely.
I've taken several Ubers in the last couple of weeks, and I had a suitcase with me. If I have a male driver, 99.9% of the time, he is getting out of the car, he's opening the trunk, he's putting my suitcase in the trunk, he's opening my door, and he is letting me in. Now, I've had female drivers that have not gotten out of the front seat. They're like, if you're a girl, you got your own suitcase.
I would argue you got what you wanted.
Equality. Y'all got the equality. Yeah, you can't. Because there's a problem with chivalry. You cannot demand chivalry and equality at the same time. Ooh, because chivalry in itself is inequality. You're getting different treatment based on you being a female, which conflicts with feminism and equality. So you got to pick one. Either you get treated like a lady, you get privileges that only women get, or you get the equality that you seek, and you get treated like everybody else, which won't be chivalry.
Bars.
Mic drop.
If somebody doesn't pay on a first date, if a guy doesn't pay on a first date, I think a lot of women don't feel safe. It feels like an insult almost that the person doesn't pay.
This worries me. Based on a lot of actions from women, we're starting to see this trend. So if he pays on the first date, that automatically means he's safe to be around. It's safe to go to his house, even though you may not know this man still. The majority of men are safe, yes. We would never do anything to harm a woman, the majority. But if that's gonna be the thing that you cling to for your safety, that's easily manipulated. And there's nothing insulting about splitting a date. You guys don't know each other yet. He doesn't know you. I think if you go into dating with the mindset that you're going to be insulted by anything or offended by everything, it's going to be really hard for you to find a great person because all these little rules mean a variety of things to different people. So it's better to ask for clarification if you're genuinely confused. A lot of men are being used when they go out on dates. So now that's why they're asking us to pay. Long term, if you have a genuine relationship with him, sure, he's going to be more than happy to buy you things here and there, take you out on dates and pay. But again, he doesn't know you.
I second that opinion. A woman that says she doesn't feel safe because a man doesn't pay on the first date is just ridiculous. She says that it's insulting if the man doesn't pay, but in reality this is just entitlement. Let's be clear. Safety has nothing to do with who pulls out a credit card. If a woman truly equates a free meal with protection, then what she's really saying is that her respect for a man depends on what he can provide, not on who he actually is. That's not safety, that's a transaction. The truth is, many of these women link money with value. If a man doesn't pay, they feel disrespected. But meanwhile, they don't bring anything of equal weight to the table. They expect investment without reciprocity, benefits without effort. It's a mindset of, I showed up, now prove yourself to me. But dating isn't about auditions where men have to prove they're worthy by covering the bill. That kind of entitlement only exposes how shallow the standard really is.
I just watched this guy stand with his hands on his hips, watching a woman struggle to lift and carry a kayak.
Well, the first question that a person should be asking is, did that woman even ask for any assistance?
Didn't even so much as flinch to offer any assistance, just stood there.
And the second question that I really do think needs be asked is, did the person who was doing the complaining, a fellow woman here, did they even offer any assistance to their fellow woman with the kayak? Or did they just stand there and watch the whole thing happen so that they could have something to complain about?
Watching. And we wonder why women would rather just do life on their own.
But wait, I was certainly under the impression, at least by all of the popular narratives that we keep hearing about, that there's quite a lot of women out there that say they don't need or want anything from a man, that they can do everything all on their own. Except, of course, when it seems that they need to find something to complain about.
Amazing. Many of these women complain about how men aren't assisting women with heavy lifting when they see them in public, but these women notice them struggling as well. But they don't offer support. They'd rather get on their phones and talk about how a man didn't help a woman out. And that's the double standard nobody wants to admit. If helping was truly about kindness and humanity, then it should go both ways. But instead, it becomes a one-sided expectation. Men must always help, while women are free to ignore the situation and even mock it. When a man struggles, no one points fingers at women for staying silent. Nobody says, "Why didn't you step in and help that man?" But the moment a woman struggles, suddenly the spotlight is on men, and the narrative becomes about how chivalry is dead. What this really shows is that some don't want equality. They want selective benefits. They want men to take on the heavy lifting, the protection, the sacrifices, while they get to stand on the sidelines and criticize.
When men say women today don't bring anything to the table, yes, because we're too busy building our own tables. So much more rewarding.
Why is it considered rude to ask modern women what they bring to the table?
I don't think it's rude. If I go on a first date, that's probably going to be the first question I ask him in, and if he asks the same thing, then I'll respect that too, because
Talk to him.
you should get just the same amount out of that question that I do.
Okay.
I think it's it's rude because they don't bring anything to the table nowadays. If a woman brings no money to a marriage, isn't she basically saying her only value is her body? Yes, absolutely, because what else would she be bringing to the marriage? She could bring support emotionally, but support emotionally 90% of the time for women nowadays is using their body.
I agree.
Can someone tell me what is going on with men? What is happening to men? They're all boys, except my fiance, because he's the most amazing man who ever walked this planet. But like, men used to be masculine, a leader, a provider. They used to want to court women, take her on dates, and just be a man. Today it's not like that. Today I feel like roles are reversed, and men these days want to be treated like the princess that they are. Men these days want to be courted by, like, men want to be taken out on dates. Do you want to get your nails done too? I just don't understand what is going on. Like, the decline of men over the past few years has just been astronomical. You know, not saying us women have shit to work on too, because we do. But can we just bring back masculine, leader, provider, just like real ass men? Just put these boys to rest? I mean, Jesus.
I love when women say men used to be masculine, providers and leaders, when they're the very ones who pushed those things away when men tried to do them. Men used to step up naturally in those roles, but modern culture shamed it. Women said they didn't want a man controlling them, or they didn't need a man telling them what to do. Providing was painted as oppression, masculinity was called toxic, and leadership was labeled domination. Little by little, men got the message: step back, tone it down, let women lead. Now those same women are looking around wondering, where did all the strong men go? The irony is, the men are still here. They were just taught that if they show those qualities, they'll be attacked or rejected. So, men adjusted. They stopped trying, and now women are left longing for the very things they once tore down. The reality is this: you can't insult and dismantle traditional masculinity for decades, then complain when men no longer give it to you.